Okay, I'm here with Julian Jackson, former WBA junior middleweight champion, WC two-time middleweight champion. How you doing, Julian? How's it going?
Awesome.
Okay. Tell me about, you were saying earlier that you feel that your most gratifying victory was your title-winning victory, your first one?
Yes, in Las Vegas. My opponent was In Beck from Korea, I think it was, and the reason why, it was my second shot at the world title, and the odds were stacked against me because In Beck was known as one of the hardest hitting puncher out of Korea. He was much bigger than I was. He was the biggest Korean I've ever seen, and yet I told Dan King, my promoter at that time, that this will be my easiest fight, and nobody believed me. There was disbelief in the air, and but after the third round, I took him out with a right hand and a left hook, and after that third round, everybody believed in my power. They believed in my ability to hit, and I think that was the marquee of my punching ability.
You have one of the best knockout percentages in boxing history. When you first started boxing in the Virgin Islands, when did you realize that you had a power that was special and that was unusual for boxers?
My trainer sort of told me, from training and working out and especially sparring, that he believed that I can become world champion, and my power was exceptional. It was tremendous, and punching the bag, and even I didn't have much knockout as an amateur, but whenever I hit my opponent, it will definitely have a real effect on them. So
now you had one of your greatest fights, most competitive, was your last title defense of your first reign in May of 1993 against Gerald McClellan.
Yes.
Who was at the time, I think he came in 31-2 with 29 knockouts, something like that. What do you think? Is Gerald a guest here tonight? Is he supposed to be here tonight?
I think so. I heard to the grapevine that he was going to be here, and I was really looking forward to meeting him.
Have you talked to him?
Yes, I've spoken to him before. As a matter of fact, at the time I was boxing, we have donated to his cause, and the things that we know that he's been going through, and to his foundation. And it's unfortunate that something like that happened to Gerald McClellan. But after my first fight with him, after we were in the dressing room, and then all of a sudden, I understand he was rushed to the hospital because of headaches and what he was going through. So
yeah, that was a great fight. That was a great 5-round fight. That was a war.
It was. I thought that I had the fight, but I dropped my left hand.
He got you. That was a hell of a war. And the first time, the second match, he outsized you. You came in, I think, low 150s.
The second match, I'll be honest with you, I was injured. I had a low back injury, and but hey, I can't really look back, and that's really water under the bridge.
Now let's talk about your fight with Mike McCallum. We talked about that earlier in the day, and Terry Norris. Let's first talk about Mike McCallum for a second. What can you tell me about Mike and the body snatcher? Did you hurt him in that fight?
Mike McCallum?
Did you have him hurt?
I heard him in the first round. It was clear. I knew that I was going to knock him out, and I was in such good shape mentally, physically, emotionally. If Mike Tyson was in the ring, I would have knocked out Mike Tyson.
Yeah, you came in that fight 29-0 with 27 knockouts.
And man, I tell you what, I got thumb in my eye. I got several low blows that really affected me, and things from there just didn't work out for me after that.
Now let's talk about Mike McCallum. Duran vacated the title. Basically, they stripped Duran the title so he could fight Tommy Hearns in June of '84. Do you think McCallum had a chance against Tommy and those guys if they would have given him a chance?
I don't think so. Mike McCallum was a very technical fighter. He didn't have much punch and power. Tommy Hearns, those guys. They were sharpshooters, and I don't think that Mike McCallum would have been able to sustain the punching ability from Tommy Hearns or Sugar Ray or those guys.
And what about let's move on to Terry Norris. You beat Norris, and he had been the WC Super Welterweight champion from 1990 all the way until 1997, one of the dominant champions in the division's history. And because he accomplished so much and you beat him, it elevates your position in history as well. Do you feel like now do you realize how important that victory was over Norris and how important that is in boxing history?
Yeah, I just feel that I got the bad end of the stick on that fight. I knocked him out, and yet he got all the recognition. He got the opportunity to fight Sugar Ray Leonard. And apparently I understood that Sugar Ray Leonard was supposed to fight the winner.
Yeah.
But he picked the loser. Ended up getting knocked out. And Terry Norris was able to rise to the occasion, got the $1 million paydays, and while I was, really left behind.
Well, he just got a real big payday against Don King about a year or two ago in the form of over $7 million. He won a lawsuit, but I'm sorry about that. Let's go. Julian,
Norris did.
Yeah, he won a $7 million lawsuit against King.
Wow.
Yeah, it was funny. Judd Bernstein was his lawyer, and they asked him for the jurors asked for a calculator, and Don King settled immediately.
Wow.
So he won $7 million, which is good because he had spent his money. But I wish he would have got a bigger payday. Do you feel that people were running from you and they didn't never give you the opportunity?
Yes, I definitely felt that, but I also felt that it was my promoter job, to actually bring the people to me.
Was Don King fair with you?
I would say yes and no. Yes, I received my biggest payday with Don King.